This is Mrs. Miller, your teacher at ELA Academy. Welcome to the latest installment in the grammar series. Today, we'll look at adjectives. Adjectives are words that modify nouns. If you aren't sure whether a word is acting like an adjective, then you can test it by asking one of these questions. Which one, what kind, how many, or whose? There are several types of adjectives that we'll look at. But first, let's put our questions back up here so we can refer to them again. And here's our color coding key. Green for adjectives, blue for the nouns they modify. Our first type is the numeric adjective, 6, 24, 302, and so on. And even if they're written in numerals instead of words, they're still adjectives. Let's look at an example. 6 students signed up for the prom committee. The noun in blue is students. Then we have a numeric adjective, 6, that modifies the noun. Look again at the questions. Which one does it answer? How many students? Next type. The quantitative adjectives, more, all, some, half, and so on. Words that describe a quantity or amount. Here's an example. May I please have more lasagna? More modifies lasagna. Which question does it answer? How much lasagna? Next. The qualitative adjectives, which describe qualities like blue, large, or stinky. Here's an example. I held my nose as I carried the dog's torn, stinky blanket to the trash can. Torn and stinky modify blanket. What question do they answer? What kind of blanket? Now, so far we've seen adjectives coming before the nouns they modify, but that's not always the case. They can also come somewhere after the noun, like so. The blanket was stinky and torn. Do you recognize the linking verb was? We saw several sentences like this in the verbs video. Next up, the possessive adjectives. Mrs. Miller's, the president's, my, his, ours. Notice that we're borrowing words from other parts of speech here. Mrs. Miller and president are both nouns, but when we add an apostrophe S and give them possessions like Mrs. Miller's car or the president's desk, they become adjectives. Then we have these possessive pronouns, which I mentioned in the pronoun video, my, his, and ours. These are still pronouns because they stand in the place of nouns, but in a sentence, they act like adjectives. Let's look at an example. I dropped my phone, but its case protected it from damage. Whose phone was it? My phone. Which case was it? Its case. We'll have even more fun with the next type, interrogative pronouns. You can remember the name by thinking about law enforcement. What do we call it when police and detectives ask a suspect questions? They interrogate the suspects. So interrogative adjectives are asking questions, like this. Whose backpack is this? Which question does the adjective answer? Whose backpack? Yeah, the adjective is the same word as the question it answers. You'll often find that to be the case with interrogative adjectives. Next, we have the demonstrative adjectives. This, that, those, these. Think of it this way. If I ask you which cell phone on the table belongs to you, what will you do? You might point a finger to demonstrate which one is yours. That phone is mine. Let's look at an example. This milk is expired. Which milk? This one that I'm pointing at. Last one, articles. Sometimes people put these in a category by themselves, but A, they act like adjectives, and B, there are only 3 of them in the English language, so why put them in their own category? A, and the. A man bought the necklace you were looking at. Which man? A man. Which necklace? The one I was looking at. Next type. Okay, no, I'm joking. That's all of them. We're ready to do some practice now. I won't ask you to identify the types, but of course you can if you want to. Our first selection is from The Perils of Indifference, a speech by Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor who's best known for his novel Night. 54 years ago to the day, A young Jewish boy from a small town in the Carpathian Mountains woke up, not far from Goethe's beloved Weimar, in a place of eternal infamy called Buchenwald. He was finally free, but there was no joy in his heart. Pause the video and find as many adjectives as you can. Come back when you're ready to check your answers. Ready to check? Here we go. How many years? 54. Which day? The day. What kind of boy? A young Jewish one. What kind of town? A small one. Which mountains? The Carpathian Mountains. Of course, you see here that Carpathian is blue for noun. There's an argument for doing it either way, but since Carpathian Mountains is the proper name of that particular set of mountains, the whole name is in blue. Next, which Weimar? Goethe's beloved Weimar. Which place? A place. What kind of infamy? The eternal kind. Then we have a linking verb, was, linking a predicate adjective to the subject. What kind of person was he? The free kind. How much joy? None at all. Whose heart? His heart. Did you find them all? If so, awesome job. If not, don't worry, it takes practice to recognize all the different types. Let's try one more. This is an excerpt from Chapter 3 of Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. The narrator, Pip, is describing the way a starving convict is eating his food. I had often watched a large dog of ours eating his food, and now I noticed a decided similarity between the dog's way of eating and the man's. The man took strong, sharp, sudden bites, just like the dog. He swallowed, or rather snapped up, every mouthful too soon and too fast. And he looked sideways here and there while he ate, as if he thought there was danger in every direction of somebody's coming to take the pie away. He was altogether too unsettled in his mind over it to appreciate it comfortably, I thought, or to have anybody to dine with him without making a chop with his jaws at the visitor. In all of which particulars, he was very like the dog. Okay, pause the video and find as many adjectives as you can, and come back when you're ready. How many did you find? Take a moment and count them. I have 25. That's a lot of adjectives. Let's see where they are. A, large, his, a, decided, the, dogs, the, man's. Notice here that the author didn't repeat way of eating. It's a little more elegant that way. The, strong, sharp, sudden, the, every, somebody's. Did you catch that one? You might have missed it because we normally think of coming as a verb, but here you might think of it as an arrival that the convict fears. And whose arrival is it? Somebody's. The, unsettled, there's another linking verb with a predicate adjective. His, a, his, the, all. How many of the particulars? All of them. And then the. If you need more practice with identifying adjectives, be sure to check out my blog post at elaacademy.us. I'll have links to a few websites where you can develop your mad skills, as well as a copy of these excerpts that you can print out and mark up as you wish. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to check out the other videos in this grammar series so that you can develop a strong foundation in the parts of speech. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media so that you can be notified when I post new material. And if you like what I'm doing here, please consider supporting ELA Academy on Patreon. This is ELA Academy.